Hi, this is Mr. Kays, and this is 29.2b. 29.2b. We saw Europe plunging into war, courtesy of alliances and some other things too. And predictions of a short war are wrong. They're totally wrong. Nations think that they're going to knock the block off of their enemies and be home in just a couple months. That's not going to happen. It will be a long, dragged out war. We looked a little bit at the Western Front. That's a region that is deadlocked in northern France. Germany has a plan. It's called the Schlieffen Plan. It's named after one of their generals. German plan to quickly defeat France, then fight Russia. The German plan was to quickly defeat France, then fight Russia. They had to really figure out who was the strongest of their enemies. And France was definitely stronger than Russia. Russia could not resupply themselves, so they could afford to put fewer troops on the Russian front and concentrate on knocking out France and Britain quickly. What developed is trench warfare. Trench warfare. This is where soldiers fight from parallel trenches. Parallel trenches. P-A-R-A-L-L-E-L. Parallel trenches. And these were dug to avoid enemy fire. We will see some of the new weapons include machine guns that are capable of firing as many bullets quickly as a regiment of soldiers. So, trenches were dug to avoid enemy fire. Some of the new weapons that you see in World War I. Poison gas, which would be a blistering agent. It would burn out your eyes, your nasal passages, your esophagus, and your lungs. People die a quick but agonizing death. Machine guns, tanks, U-boats, which are a predecessor of the submarines, U-boats, and airplanes. Battles that were important early on. The battle at the Marne. The Marne is the Marne River that borders France and their neighbors. And the Battle of Verdun. These were meat grinder battles for both sides. They yielded heavy casualties for both sides. They yielded heavy casualties for both sides. And slowly but assuredly, both sides realized this is going to be a long, drawn-out affair. All right, we talked about the Western Front being between Germany and France. The Eastern Front is the battlefield along the German and Russian border. The German and Russian border. Now, the Russians were lamers. They were not able to keep up with supplies because they didn't have factories. The Russian war effort was near collapse. The Russian war effort was near collapse. They could throw millions of people at the enemy, but they didn't have enough weapons. It's not uncommon for one guy to be charging with a rifle, and right behind him is his buddy, waiting for that guy to get shot so he can pick up the rifle and continue on. There was a shortage of guns, ammo, food, blankets, and medicine. Russia just was not prepared to go to war. They had a shortage of guns, ammo, food, blankets, and medicine. Remember, I'd say about 10 years before this, Russia lost the Russo-Japanese War to the Japanese. They were lame. They could not field a strong army. And eventually, they are going to collapse. But that's for another time. This is Mr. Kays with 29.2b.